Hello and welcome to Rise Unwind. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we talk to people from across the country about things you could do right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
I had very little magic training, kind of no magic training on this third movie. I had to do practice with the dubs, releasing dubs. But that was kind of it.
And they're up there going like, yeah, shout, shout. And you're like, dude, you're like 9 years old.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. You ever notice how the holidays hit and suddenly you're seeing the red kettles everywhere? This year, the need is even bigger, and the Thanksgiving Day halftime show is where it all officially kicked off. Today, we've got Commissioner Merle Heatwole from Salvation Army, along with Jerry Jones and Charlotte Jones from the Dallas Cowboys, joining us from AT&T Stadium to share what this year's Red Kettle campaign is all about. Welcome to the show, everyone. How are you three?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good to be with you.
All right, for the people at home who may not know the full history, what exactly is the Red Kettle campaign?
Well, the Red Kettle campaign is the way that we share with the country the opportunity to really get involved with the ministries of the Salvation Army and make a difference in the lives of millions of people right within their local community. In the Tampa area this last year, 1.2 million meals were served, 360,000 nights of shelter. And that's the way that we make a difference every day throughout the country. And we're so grateful for the partnership that we have with the Cowboys and the Jones family for making it possible for us to kick this off for the last 29 years and to raise over $3 billion to support those most in need across our country.
And that need is true. It feels especially heavy this year for so many families. Why do you think it's important for this campaign?
Well, again, it's important because of the increased demand that we're seeing, 20 to 25% additional requests. We know that there are over 18 million families that are facing food insecurity, and we want to be able to give them joy, give them hope, give them the opportunity to really know that people care about them. And every donation that's made stays within the local community.
And this year's halftime show is always a big tradition. What's it like bringing this year's artist to launch the campaign in such a huge stage?
Well, we are so excited this year, our 29th year to be doing this, and we finally have Post Malone. He is a huge Cowboys fan, so we love that, but he literally grew up in our former stadium, and now he gets to perform live right here at AT&T Stadium alongside the cheerleaders, the Salvation Army, and we're going to go out to millions of people tomorrow. And hopefully his entertainment will inspire all of those that are watching to participate in the Red Kettle campaign, to give back, to maybe give their time, maybe take an angel off the Salvation Army angel tree and provide Christmas to someone who doesn't have it. But hopefully all of that tomorrow, all of that energy and all of that visibility will truly impact our communities across this country.
And for the people that are watching at home, what is the easiest way for them to help spread some of that joy and support families who are struggling?
Well, they can do that at the Red Kettle, either by a cash donation or just by using the QR code or going to our website at salvationarmyusa.org.
And Jerry, the Cowboys have been part of this for about 29 years now. What makes this partnership with the Salvation Army so meaningful for your family and the organization?
Well, first of all, we can basically remind everybody how efficient that dollar is when it goes in a red kettle. These are real pros. They really know how better than anyone to get the majority of that dollar, more than anybody, and put it in the hands of the people that need it. While people are thinking about how to do it, they'll have shoes on the needy. They'll have food in their mouth. They'll have a Christmas present under that tree before anybody can blink. They're such an efficient organization. It literally has been an inspiration for the Cowboys, hopefully on the field as well, to have been a part of what the Salvation Army ethos is. When they hit this end zone tomorrow and we're sitting in it, we want these players to be jumping in that red kettle, reminding everybody across this country, put that buck in that red kettle.
I want to thank you three for joining me this morning.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
Thank you very much.
Happy
Have a happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Have you noticed how data breaches just keep getting bigger and more complicated? Experian's new annual forecast says 2026 could bring even more challenges, especially with AI helping criminals create smarter attacks. So today, we're getting some clarity from Michael Brimmer, Vice President and Head of Global Data Breach Resolution and Consumer Protection at Experian. Michael, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm well, Dan. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, your new data breach industry forecast lays out several big predictions. What should businesses be paying attention to first?
Well, the businesses, anybody that has personal identity information should always make sure, one, they're protecting the data and they have the defenses to be able to protect from the data being stolen. So it doesn't matter if you're a small business, large business, you're a government entity, you're an individual sole proprietor.
AI, it's everywhere. It's like in my fridge, it's in my smart vacuum. But how is it changing the cybersecurity landscape right now, and how are criminals using it?
Well, 5 of our 6 predictions this year involve AI. And AI in 2026 is going to be, in one word, transformative. It's no longer a back-end technology. It's front and center, and it's going to be powering scams, data breaches, as well as critical infrastructure attacks, because it's faster, it's more impactful, as well as it's much harder to detect by conventional defense technology.
When a business wants to protect its data more seriously, what's a smart first step?
Well, I think the most important step is a scenario where you don't trust and verify every incoming and outgoing either person, email, communication. And again, if you don't trust, you have to verify. And once that's done, then you can go ahead and proceed with that transaction. That's the most important thing businesses can do.
And for everyday consumers, what can people do to guard against identity theft and fraud?
Consumers should never click on any links. They should not use QR codes. They should always turn on 2-factor authentication with their apps, their devices, and websites. They should use a password manager to create long and complex passwords. Never go ahead and shop anywhere or use a site that doesn't have the HTTPS in the URL. And then I always recommend sign up for Identity Works from Experian, where you can get free credit monitoring as well as see what's out on the dark web of yours.
So if viewers want to dig into the full forecast or maybe even learn more, where should they go?
We have not only the predictions, but many consumer tips at Experian.com/data breach, or you can also go to Ask Experian blogs for how to prevent yourself from being scammed, as well as the consumer tips.
Michael, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you having me.
Do you ever notice how the holidays sneak up and suddenly we're all making extra trips to the pharmacy? It's actually a great time to check in on your own health, especially if you're over 50 and at a higher risk for shingles. You know, it's a painful rash, and most people that age already have the virus in their body without even knowing it. So today, we're hearing from 2 experts who walked us through what shingles is and who's most at risk, and why a quick visit with your pharmacist can make a big difference. Here are Dr. Leonard Friedland from GSK and Dr. Samantha Pitzing from Walgreens.
Hello, I'm Dr. Leonard Friedland, Vice President and Director of Scientific Affairs in Public Health at GSK Vaccines.
Hi, I'm Dr. Samantha Pitzing. I'm Senior Director of Immunizations at Walgreens.
So what exactly is shingles, and how does it affect adults 50 and older?
Shingles is a painful, blistering rash that's caused by reactivation of the varicella zoster virus. And that virus is the same virus that causes chickenpox, a disease we know from our childhood. Now, shingles can be a painful experience. It can disrupt your life for multiple weeks, and it can even lead to longer lasting complications in some cases. Now, why does this occur? And the predominant reason is because our immune systems weaken naturally as we age, starting around age 50, and that puts us at increased risk of developing shingles.
And there's a lot of misunderstandings out there. What are some common misconceptions about shingles?
Yeah, so one very common misconception is that shingles is only a disease of the older adult. But the fact is that if you're 50 years of age and older, even if you feel young and healthy, you're still at risk for shingles. In fact, adults 50 years of age and older are at increased risk for shingles, such that 1 in 3 people over the age of 50 will develop a case of shingles during the course of their lifetime. Another misconception is that shingles is just isn't common, but that is also not true, because there's an estimated 1 million new cases of shingles each year in the United States. So that means that it's likely that all of us know somebody who's had shingles.
And for people in that age group, what are some of the steps they could take to help protect themselves?
It's a great question. Really, knowing the risk is the first step. 99% of adults 50 years of age or older already have the virus that causes shingles in their body, even though not all of them will develop shingles. While age is the most important risk factor, certain health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, chronic kidney disease, and asthma have all been associated with an increased risk of shingles. So if you are 50 years of age or older, particularly if you have one of these health conditions, I encourage you to ask your pharmacist about your risk for shingles and about prevention.
And with the holidays coming up, why is it a good time to check in with a Walgreens pharmacist about vaccine preventable diseases?
Yeah, I can't believe the holidays are already upon us. They are quickly approaching, and many of us are busy with gift shopping, family gatherings, and those last-minute errands to the pharmacy. I don't know how many times I forget something and have to run to my local Walgreens to grab something quick. But while you're at your local Walgreens, if you're 50 years of age or older, it's a great opportunity to talk to your pharmacist about vaccine preventable diseases like shingles. The holiday season can be hectic, but taking a moment now to have that conversation with your Walgreens pharmacist is a good way to prioritize your health as you head into the new year.
So why is now especially a good moment for adults 50 and older to ask their pharmacist about their risk for shingles?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's super easy. If you're 50 years of age or older, you can ask your local Walgreens pharmacist about your risk for certain vaccine preventable diseases like shingles to learn more. You can walk in anytime and head back to the pharmacy. But if you do want to plan ahead, you can visit walgreens.com or easyvax.com to find a pharmacy appointment near you.
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Do you ever wonder what it really takes to turn an old house into something fresh, warm, and full of life? Fixer to fabulous fans already know. It takes heart, talent, and a whole lot of Mars magic. Dave and Jenny Mars are back with a brand new season dropping December 2nd, and they're diving into everything from storm-damaged homes to charming historic makeovers. And today, we've got the duo, so let's talk to them. Dave and Jenny, how are you, my friends?
We're fantastic. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing pretty good. I wish you guys could come to my house and help me. This place was built in 1905, and it's just like drives me insane. It's horsehair in the walls and stuff, so I need your help.
Oh,
yeah, horsehair plaster, yes.
We can relate. We have a 1903 house, and it's always needing work.
It's like I can't put a nail in, otherwise I will get half the wall to come back crumbling onto the floor. And I'm like, I need that Jenny and Dave Mars magic, my friends.
I know, but the historic homes just have so much charm and character, and like because they're so challenging, they have to, or else you wouldn't be able to put up with it.
If there was more charm, it would be called Bewitched. That's what I think it is. Too much charm, I think. All right, so this new season kicks off with you guys renovating a tornado-damaged home for your child's preschool teacher. What made that project feel so personal for you and your family?
Gosh, the tornadoes that went through that night, they touched or affected just so many people in our community. Mm-hmm. One of them being our son Luke's preschool teacher, and we were there the very next day helping with the cleanup and just the devastation. They were one of the worst hit areas. It was awful. A place that you really should feel the safest in your home that was taken from them. So from the very first day to almost a year later, when they figured out insurance and everything to be able to then start the renovation, we were able to put so many things in that will protect them and their home, their family from future tornadoes, and the whole community came together. It was just a full circle moment that was, I don't know, it was really kind of needed for our area with all the damage that happened.
And you guys have completed more than 300 homes together. What's something that still surprises you when you walk into an older house for the first time?
Oh, I was going to say that we've completed 300 homes together. That really surprised me.
There you go.
I don't even, the math. I think I feel like and you may get this because you're also in an older home, but I feel like homes, you walk in and you can feel it, like you can feel something in a home. It's either good or bad. But there's some homes you walk into and you're like, I just can tell this home has had happy memories here, and it's such a special place. And I'm always curious about the history of homes and the things that have happened within that home and the lives that have been lived there. And so for us to be able to take an old home where families, generations of families have lived in, and then to make it work for a family now, like a modern family, and to renovate it in a way that's super functional. But really, we try to always preserve the history as much as we can. I love that. I love working on historic homes. Both of us do. Those are our favorite for sure.
It goes back to a time when, the character in the home, not only on the interior, but on the exterior, was so much more important. So to be able to add in our own touches and or just bringing that character back to life again it's special.
I think in my house, the character is brought by skunks in the crawl space. That's that little magic that I get sometimes. But
that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, exactly. Jen, you always add these like thoughtful touches that feel so connected to the family. How do you translate who they are into design choices that actually really land?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of my favorite things that I get to do is to try to make the homes personal. I don't have to live there. These families live there, and I want them to feel like I don't want them to walk in and think, oh, this is Jenny Mars. I want them to walk in and say, this feels like me. Yeah. So we really do a lot of pre-work that you don't necessarily see in the 42-minute episode, but we really try to get to know the family, get to know the things they love. Just talk to them about their story. Their story is so important. And when you go into someone's home, it should reflect that story. Yeah. And so those little touches, sometimes they're really small. I mean, I don't know, like this last house we just revealed, there was a recipe that our homeowner mentioned that her grandma had made that was really special to her. And so we just engraved that on a cutting board and put it in the kitchen. And like just something small like that really was really, really meaningful for her. And I think those little touches are what, to me, are my favorite parts of the renovation.
And Dave, your craftsmanship is a huge part of the show. What's a build or restoration this season that really pushed your creativity?
Oh, the stairs, right?
Yeah, we renovated a small cabin that we just didn't have room for a staircase. We had this really great loft space, but we didn't have room for a set of stairs just for code. So we actually. I don't want to mess up the episode, but we have a collapsible staircase that kind of folds out and then goes back into place. And it was such a challenge to figure it out, but it turned out so cool. It's really neat, and it's become an added feature of the house.
Well, thank you two for joining me today. Maybe one day I could be on a future episode where I could go from funky to at least fixer. From where I'm at now, okay? But check out the brand new season of Fixer to Fabulous on HGTV and stream past seasons anytime on Max. If you want more behind-the-scenes stories, design ideas, or updates from the Mars family, you can head to hgtv.com/Fixer to Fabulous. I want to thank you two for joining me today, my friends.
Thanks you.
For having us,
Thanks
Dan.
so
Appreciate
much.
You.
Bye.
Let's talk music, because I am so excited about our next guest. You know those bands that didn't just soundtrack a moment, but they shaped whole entire chapters of your life? Well, for me in high school, this band was a major part of those formative years. And to this day, when I hear a certain Dr. Feelgood, still gives me all the feel-goods. Motley Crüe is celebrating 45 years and bringing back their legendary Carnival of Sins tour for 2026. Today we have drummer Tommy Lee with us to talk about the band's wild ride and what fans can expect this time around. Tommy, welcome. So thrilled to have you.
Hello, good morning.
So, Tommy, this tour, it marks 45 years of Motley Crüe and the return of Carnival of Sins. Why did this feel like the right moment to bring this tour back?
Well, because it was insane when it happened, and there's so there's so many new fans and that never really got a chance to see it. And I was just telling somebody else this, and our music has transcended generations, and there will be so many people that are coming to see this for the first time. So let's bring it back and let's show them what they missed.
That sounds good to me. And speaking
Right?
of, spanning generations, your fan base, me included, why do you think that connection is so strong after all these years?
I don't know. I really don't. There's some magic there. There's I was telling somebody else, there's nothing cooler than that. Like, I think after the movie The Dirt came out, I got so many emails from people going like, "Oh my God, is that what it was? Is that really what it was like?" And I think there's a bunch of stuff out there, during our career and our lives that just don't happen anymore, and they never will. So I guess I don't know where I'm going with this, but there's nothing cooler. There's not a better feeling for an artist to look out in the crowd and see, their parents have their children on their shoulders, and they're up there going like, "Yeah, shout, shout," and you're like, "Dude, you're like 9 years old. How is this happening?" It literally is the best feeling ever to know that your music has transcended, and these new people are coming in and they're seeing it for the first time, and it's mind blowing.
I love that. So fans still talk about the original Carnival of Sins tour. Are there any parts of that huge over-the-top production that are coming back, or what's brand new for this tour this next year?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're deep in pre-production now. This one's going to take a lot of time because, as usual, every time we go out, it's a spectacle, and people expect us to bring something that they've never seen before. So we have a heavy load on our shoulders, but we're talking, like I said, we're in pre-production and talking about different musical ideas and production ideas, and there's some new technology out there that we're going to bring, and we're going to bring it like we always do.
Heck yes. Tickets for the return of the Carnival of Sins tour are on sale now. You can find dates, details, and the full tour lineup at motley.com. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Do you ever wish you could pull off the perfect diamond heist and just disappear in a cloud of smoke? The new suspense thriller, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, brings the four horsemen out of retirement, or maybe five, we'll find out. There adds a new generation of illusionists and stacks the decks with mind-bending twists, prison breaks, and one very big diamond. Lizzy Caplan is back as magician Lula May, who's suiting up with the horsemen for their wildest caper yet. Lizzy Caplan joins us now. Lizzy, thanks for hanging out with us, my friend. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
All right, the return of Lula May. Fans were buzzing when they realized Lula is back in this movie, kind of right in the middle of a big diamond heist. What was the most exciting part about slipping back into Lula May's world of cons, disguises, illusions, and injuring yourself violently?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much everything. I love playing this character. She's ridiculous. She doesn't shy away from being ridiculous. Her tricks are insane, and her attitude about everything is pretty bonkers. So any excuse to slip back into her shoes, I will happily take. Not to mention, I love all of my castmates so deeply on this one that it just doesn't feel like work when we get to make these movies.
And pushing the magic further, this one feels bigger and let's just say, I guess, twistier.
I agree. I think there's more twists in this one for sure.
From your point of view, how did Now You See Me, Now You Don't raise the stakes compared to some of the earlier films?
Like you say, they just the locations keep getting more wild and far-flung. The thriller itself, the heist itself becomes bigger and bigger. And the performances, I hope, become even more fun to watch as we really settle into like playing these characters now for many, many years. And
you were mentioning some of your favorite people are in this film. We could go through the list, like Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, Morgan Freeman,
all great.
Rosamund Pike.
A pluses across the board.
But you got newbies in here: Ariana Greenblatt, Justin Smith, and Dominic Sessa. Any words about them?
They were amazing. You know, you never know if new people, especially with such a huge generation gap, are going to vibe as well as the rest of us do. And they absolutely did. They fit in seamlessly. They are wonderful additions.
And just to let you know, I don't want to expose myself like this, but I'm a magician. Yeah. I'm a magician. So I heard that you guys work with real magicians and consultants behind the scenes. And who were you learning from on this film? And what kind of magic trading looked like for you this time around? And who told you all the secrets?
Yeah, I have to say I had very little magic trading, kind of no magic trading on this third movie. I had to do practice with the doves, releasing doves. But that was kind of it. The rest of them had to go to magic school. They learned a bunch of stuff. I learned stuff on the second movie. I'm not a magician. I didn't keep it up. So now I once again know no magic.
Okay, we won't hold it against you. You do make magic look really cool, because I know magicians and not a lot of them are as cool as you guys, all right? That's I just gotta say.
Hey, listen, thanks.
Why see it in a theater without spoiling any of the twists? What do you hope audiences feel when the credits roll, and why is this kind of the heist movie that really plays best on a huge big screen?
Well, I think that there aren't as many movies these days that feel like they were meant to be watched in a movie theater with an audience of people where you're eating popcorn and just enjoying it with a room full of people. It's one of those movies. It is pure entertainment. It's not for sitting and watching it on your phone, although I guess if you want to do that like down the line, sure. But for your first viewing, you should go to the theater, bring your family, bring your parents, bring your kids. It's genuinely fun for people of all ages. These movies don't come around that often anymore.
Lizzy Caplan, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can catch Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It's in theaters now for showtimes, theaters, and more on the film. Head to nowyouseeme.movie and look for the hashtag Now You See Me on social media. Lizzy, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in to Rise and Unwind. If you want to be on the show, just go to our website, riseunwindtv.com, fill out the form, send it on in. Maybe you could be on a future episode. We have social media. We have a Facebook. We have Instagram. Plus, you can follow our YouTube channel. All of the above is at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was Rise and Unwind.